Shamps and giggles, history, news, views, and reviews from a black perspective. Shamps and giggles back for 2024. Oh my lord! Lord of his birthday. Hey! Shamps and giggles, history, news, views, and reviews from a black perspective. That's what we do. Lord of mercy. Doing it every week for the past how many years now? By the way, you know, we've been talking of things, loving the show. The news is just hot, 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 hot. So happy to be around everybody. Just phenomenal being in your presence. Angela Phillips is in the building. Big up. Shugs is here. What a guan. But you know what we missed this week? We missed the condolences. We missed the congratulations. What a guan, Ronya. Katie, come to heart the thing, smiley man. That's what a guan.
Yeah, well, first up, as usual, we would have done, so we're going to do our condolences now. So one of the biggest condolences, there's quite a couple more to do, but the biggest one, which is sad news for everybody, and I mean worldwide, is to hear that Tito Jackson, famous Tito out of the Jackson 5 original, passed away. And he was only 70, and I say only 70 because we class it as young. We class it as very young. No reports of how, but very, very sad that he died. And most people will know, and he's, including the radio listeners, would know that his children were very famous as well. His own children, they were called 3 T's, if you remember back in the day. They had their own little group formulated by himself, and they were great singers as well, young teenagers. So when he passed away, and yeah, it's been reported that people were heartbroken. Oh, and someone's mentioned it could be around heart attack, they believe. So yeah, very, very sad, very sad. You know, so we wanted to give condolences to Tito Jackson. So yeah, yes, good looking man too.
Yeah, a medical emergency.
Oh wow.
You know, guitarist, lead guitarist with the Jackson 5, and his death was in New Mexico.
Yeah, that would be in America as well, wouldn't it? Because they got that area, New Mexico.
Yeah. As you say, Keith, 70s is you know, you still got time. But come to think of it, my brother's 73, 4. Do you know what I mean? Still got energy, man. Was at a rave just the other day. So, I mean, it's untimely. You know, it's very sad.
Yes.
But I mean, you know, a medical emergency that happens. Look, he was. They've been flagged down by a person at American Heritage Plaza who said there was an individual requiring medical attention. An ambulance was requested, and later it was identified as him.
Oh, wow.
So it might just been a genuine situation.
Yeah. Genuine heart attack or something. Or And that's such a shame. But yeah, the world poured out upset of his death, you know. So
okay, so there's an autopsy scheduled to determine the cause of death. So I guess typically it takes 6 to 8 weeks for a full report. So allowing toxicology and histology. Good Lord, over here it takes 16 weeks. What the hell?
Yes,
big difference. But yeah, it's sad. So of the Jackson family, how many's got? I mean, there's how many people in the Jackson family?
Well, I thought there was in total. I think the family had like 7,
8
kids. Oh, kids.
Yeah.
2, 4.
Thought there was 8, right?
I think it's 7 or 8.
7 or 8 of them.
You got 2 girls.
Yes.
Yeah, Janet and
Latoya and Janet.
Latoya.
Yeah, Latoya, Janet, Tito, Michael, and Jermaine.
No, there was
and there was another girl. Sorry?
3 girls in the Jackson.
Yeah, there was another girl.
Yeah,
Latoya,
5 plus 6 six brothers and three daughters, I think it was. There was
Yeah.
So it's 9.
It was a big family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of that, so now of the 9, 2 have passed.
Yes. Jack, Michael, and Tito, and
Yeah.
the dad. But yeah, 2 of
Well,
them.
actually, so just of the kids.
Yes,
and
of the
dad.
singer, the group.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the dad's gonna pass on. If the kids are 60, dad's gonna pass on, isn't it, right? But now you see it's come down to the kids, and but his mum must be of age, and
Oh yeah, she's still going. Yeah.
yeah, so she must be devastated. That's her boy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Wow, that's very sad, very sad. By the way, guys, type in the chat. Oh, look at this, Tito Jackson. Somebody says.
Oh, Tito Traino. Oh right, okay.
Oh, okay, so that's his full name.
Yeah.
Denise, what are you remembering there? If I something sang with Michael.
Oh, the
maybe
three
you're trying to say,
T's.
hey?
The 3 T's. It must have been Tito's children.
Children.
Yes, they sung a song with Michael. Yeah.
So Spice is saying heart attack. At least your hands up, pot things.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to keep my hand up.
Oh, Alicia's saying 10 siblings in all.
Oh wow.
10 siblings all, actually. I didn't get all of them, but yeah. Rebby, Janet, Latoya, Randy, Michael, Marlon, Tito, Jermaine, Randy. I think I said Randy as well.
Yeah, Randy. Yeah.
One that nobody knows. She was the quiet one. Rebby was. She's a girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't think she took up singing.
No.
Jackson's mom's a Jehovah's Witness.
They are Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, they're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh. So they sang a song with. So I was going to say in the chat, if somebody wants me to play a tribute song to Tito, put what the song is you'd like played, and then
that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant for a trip.
That's
great suggestion. Yeah, great suggestion.
Yeah. So
that would be the first one, and then we had the situation, but I think last week, or I should have had the date in my notes, but I haven't, of the boys that died in a fire in Luton, young black guys, black children, died in a fire in Luton, because they saying that it was a tragedy, but they are taking the mum to court, or she's been charged, or she's going to be charged with, because what happened is that the boys are, I think they're like 6. One was 6, and I think his younger brother. And she went to the shop. She locked them in the house, but she must have left either a cigarette or a tea light. And her name was Juliana Prosper.
This is so sad, this story.
Yeah.
It's so sad. And you know, was she a single parent then?
It looks like she was a single parent. No, the boyfriend or husband weren't at home, but it sounds like she was a single parent, and she's only 48 years old.
Have a look, guys. This is so sad as we show the picture of the 4 boys, and I think they look like they're 2 sets of twins.
Yeah,
that's
correct.
This is one set, and then
yeah.
And you know, promising young lads, the future before them. They were together under a bed, obviously hiding, you know, finding a safe place, hoping mommy will come back.
Yeah.
In a fire surrounded by rubbish and human. She's 29, Pete. Denies manslaughter of her 2 sets of twins.
Oh no, this one we know of, Joe. It's another family member. This one is Juliana Prosper.
Oh, what you're talking about? Not this case. You're talking about a different.
No, this is another tragedy that happened before. This one that I'm talking about is a recent one, most recent. So if you type this name.
This is recent. This is the 16th of September. We're the 20th. It's a couple of days ago.
No, this one is Juliana Prosper, 48, and her son. Yeah, pronounced dead at Lee Banks Tower.
Juliana Prosper.
Yeah.
In
Juliana Prosper. Prosper.
Yeah, dead in a house. Oh, so
Yeah, this is
and
another one.
Kyle Prosper, 16. Giselle
Yeah.
Prosper,
That's
13.
right. Mixed it up for you, Joe. Yeah, that was me mixing it up. Yes, this one is very, very sad because when you look further down the article, you'll realize who they have arrested for the fire.
Who did they arrest?
I believe it's the son, one of the sons.
Hold on, wait. Wait.
Yeah.
So a mother and 2 children
Yeah.
die in a fire,
Yes.
and the fire may have been started by the son.
Correct. If you read further down, that was a shock. And and for me, the age of these children, they must have been sleeping or something because they are a good age to try and escape, depending where this fire was.
Oh my God. So Nicholas has been charged with murder of his mother and siblings. So
yes.
So Kyle and Giselle. So where's Nicholas?
Yes, the sister.
So this is Nicholas here.
Correct.
So he wasn't there.
No.
He set a fire and killed his family.
Yes.
What kind of madness is that?
Yeah, and he's also. It looks like he's one of these young boys that are into gangs or gone the wrong straight down the life, because he was also arrested and charged with firearms offences. Yeah, yeah. Where you can see there, Nicholas, where you see 18, it says his name, but it says that he was also charged.
Charged with murder and appeared at Luton magistrates.
Yeah. Right.
Also charged with firearms and possession of a bladed article, and is during Crown Court as well.
Yeah.
What kind of madness is that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's a disease going around with these kids, man. It's a disease.
Yeah. So we'll pass condolences for those family members.
And then you have to ask, where's the father?
Yeah, but these ones, yeah, but they're good age, and you'd think that the mother brought them up nicely because they were singing praises for the daughter and her brother, who are 16 and so on, and doing well at school and want to prosper. So the mother has done very well with them. You know, if there was no father in their life or no male in their life, she did very well because of how other people have been speaking about the children, the ones that passed.
Right.
So the older one or the 8, I don't know, something happened, gone down the wrong path, wrong peers. Really sad for your brother to be arrested and charged with the murder. Really.
But again, he's arrested, he's charged. They have to bring forth the evidence.
They got the gun. They've seen the gun in the house. That's why they've added that to his arrest sheet, his charge sheet. So he's got the gun. They've arrested him. He's got the firearms. He's got the bladed article. So he's got whatever knife, sheath, a samurai sword, whatever it is. He's got that because they've charged him specifically with that as well.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, it really is sad. So I wanted to bring those to the forefront.
I wonder if they were onto him.
Yeah.
I mean, it does not, you can't, it just doesn't make any sense. You know what? You can't even think it through. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
And look at them, the mother and the 2 that died, they had all to live for.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Well,
very sad.
Well, you got more. You got some congratulations now.
Yeah, I've got one. I was hoping that Jemmy May found the name for me. There is a church in Brixton, and for years they've been giving out food for the homeless, and they have been recognised for their good deeds in the Brixton area.
Brilliant.
And I know one of our members and board members here knows of that church.
Is it a food bank?
No, it's not they give out for homeless. They like feeding them, so they're not a food bank as such, but they go round and feeding homeless constantly.
I didn't get time to research. I apologize. I've had a really crazy
Is
week.
it St.
What I
Paul?
can tell you, what I can tell you, it's they do food outside of Iceland next to Brixton Station, and let me tell you, they don't just do food. So you get rice and peas and chicken, or goat, or oxtail. Yeah. When they're done give you that, they give you dessert. When they're done give you dessert, yeah, they give you carrots, potatoes, all kind of stuff. I've never seen
what day?
like in my life.
What day do they do that?
I'll find,
I remember he's on the train. He's breaking up.
Yeah.
it's a Thursday evening.
Oh, we couldn't hear you, Jemmy.
Right. There's actually a.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. What day?
Okay, let me see if I find a picture.
Oh, Spin Doctor's seen them on
I think
Monday.
it's a Thursday.
Okay.
Is it the soup kitchen?
Okay.
That's what I was wondering.
Well, maybe they have specific dates.
Yeah. Is it? I want to give the name so then we can pick them up, and obviously people know the name.
A Spin
Give me a
Doctor
minute.
records in Brixton.
Give me a second.
He's seen them.
I'll give you a couple of seconds. But whilst we're talking, then in Brixton there is the Brixton Soup Kitchen,
Okay.
and they do this. That's what they do. A Brixton-based service for the homeless people in need. However,
They're a church.
They're a church.
Well, Spin Doctor reckons he's seen them on a Monday in Brixton,
Monday, yeah.
outside Iceland.
Outside of Iceland.
Yeah. Spin Doctor reckons.
Would it be St. Paul's Church in Brixton?
Possibly. Hang on.
Are they
I've
on
got the picture
Acre Lane?
somewhere. Hang on. I'm looking. I had the
It'd
picture.
be
Now.
nice to give them their due. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can come back to it.
We are
Yeah.
going to have them on the show.
And we may well have them, and that'll be phenomenal.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be absolutely awesome.
We can give Jimmy some time to try and find it. We will give him a mention.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. So that was the congratulatory. Oh, and the other one that I wanted to congratulate. Do you remember we on our show? It must have been a couple of months ago, or even 3 months ago. Can't remember when it specifically was, but we mentioned on our show, radio listeners, and on the banter we were talking about it, and we recorded it, that we wanted our listeners and members to go into Aldi and purchase the Jamaican patties, or the patties. Yeah. Do you remember that? Two young, the father and son in Peckham, doing
That's
well
right.
in Aldi competition. Well, Aldi had so much written, what would you call it then, when you want someone to go in and do things for you? So they had lots of reviews. Yeah, that's a good thing. Reviews and feedback about these patties. They've recently, within the last week, they announced that they will be stocking permanently these Jamaican patties. Aldi will be stacking testimonies. Thank you very much, Supreme. Yes, they will be now stocking these patties for life, in a way, until the demand. It was too much a demand. So now they've just announced it will be sold in every Aldi in the country, these patties.
Phenomenal. What was the brand of the patties?
Oh yes, it was. Hold on, I'll tell you now. It was. I know Miss Leisha bought it. It was juicy.
Flake? Oh, that's it. Flake base, right?
Flaky something. Yes. Is it flaky? Yeah.
It's flake bake.
Flake bake.
Patties, yeah.
That's right. So when our listeners have a look on YouTube, they can see here, look, flake, bake, a Jamaican beef patty. So
Yeah. Yeah, 99p. Yes.
Only 99. Hey, let me tell you, patties are expensive now.
Yes.
That is only 99p, you know, because patties are like pound 50. They're up there now,
Yeah, they're up there. They're not cheap.
Yeah, they're not cheap, not at all.
Oh, and Spice got some, so very good. It's stocked then. And that's a Birmingham area, north.
And notice how Spice says
brilliant.
he managed to, because I think it's been pretty much sold out.
Yeah.
You know, you go in and there's none left in there. But yeah, flake bake patty is 99p, available in Aldi. Now, by the way, this is good marketing on Aldi's side, because of course the likes of Iceland, Asda, they do provide patties already, don't they?
Yes.
I think Port Royal, I think
yes.
is the brand there. And there's one other, I can't remember the brand offhand. So Aldi has now gotten into that marketplace, and they're providing, and they've brought in, which is amazing. They've brought in, rather than just going to Port Royal and saying, "Hey, we can stock your patties," they've brought in some. So they've given somebody else a leg up, so to speak, in the community. So which is really good. Really happy for the young men for what they've done. Hold on, I'm reading something in the chat, and maybe it's a joke business, but Supreme Spin Doctor says, "Is this where Miss Leisha started fight in Liddell?" What is that about?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's
Miss Leisha jump in the queue.
Something?
Yeah, you did earlier. She jumped the queue in Liddell, and you know.
Got the name of the church.
What's the name of the church, Jamie?
Somebody pulled her up on it.
It's Rapture Ministries Church of the Open Bible, 194 Selhurst Road, London, SE25 5AU.
Wow, shame you couldn't put that in the chat.
Every Monday, 8:30 to 10:30 outside Iceland, next to Brixton Station.
Give it a repeat again.
Rapture Ministries Church of the Open Bible, 194 Selhurst Road, London, SE25 5AU.
Wow. And so what it is, a Rapture Ministry Church, South Norwood, right?
Yep.
So it's very, very, look, what it is, and it's quite amazing. So they do an outreach.
Outreach, that'd be the right word. Yeah.
You know, and you know what? I think they do need more, because, you know, cost of living crisis, a lot of people are so affected by it. And sometimes you could fall and you literally can't get back up. Here's in South Norwood. This goes back to 2022, so that somebody had filmed it back then. So if people could do things like that, you know, film what's going on then just upload it onto their social media chat. Let's just give this a little viewing and see.
I'm in a wheelchair paradise and testifying the glory of God. A lot of people are depressed and they're looking in the wrong place. But I want to tell you tonight, God is the source that you need to come to. Because Jesus Christ knows the way. He's a good man, a good shepherd. Many of us are good people. No one good but God. And when you say God, Jesus Christ is God.
Yes, we're just here outside Brixton
we need
Station.
God. Not just today,
lots of people.
Every day we are over.
Some in need, some just passing. But we're here to cater for all.
Hold on a minute. Spin Doctor, is that your voice?
It sounded like. It sounded like.
Because there's the video is of the outreach that's happening, and there's somebody there obviously is preaching his gospel and so on, and then obviously somebody has recorded it on their phone. So that is what's happened here, and you can hear the person who recorded it. I'll just play a little bit more. You can hear the person talking.
When Jesus Christ is involved, we don't preach about black business, white business, about Jesus. Jesus said, for God so loved the world, gave his only begotten Son. So whosoever believes shall not perish, Jesus Christ sent his son into the world, not to condemn the world, but to make the world, people, be saved through Jesus, because sin came through one man, and through salvation another, and it's Jesus. I'm not sorry that I read the Master's Club. I'm not sorry that God has come to my life. It's for good cause.
It's happening in Britain. And obviously somebody did film it on their phone or whatever, how they did it, and they uploaded it onto YouTube, which is a good look. And then you can see people getting fed. And as Jemmy said, a good food that. It's good food.
I see the queue. Yeah, you see the queue.
And there's a line. You see that, innit?
Yeah, there's a line.
There's a line outside.
Yeah.
So
and we're giving out clothes as well. So yeah, I think we should try and get them on our show. And I think they needed that a bit of congratulations on our show. So
yeah,
we know. And if anyone's in that Southwest London area, go by, support, volunteer, or donate. I'm sure that they will be grateful. It'll be gratefully received.
I sent you the flyer, Joe. It says service in Brixton. Well, I spoke to the pastor the night that I was out there, and said they've been doing it for 38 years.
Oh,
they've been doing it for when Keith was single.
Yes, man.
The same thing in the same place.
When he was born.
Yep.
Wow. That's really something. There'll be a lot to talk about with Pastor then, because clearly they would have seen the changes that's been occurring in Brixton over the years. Brixton's not the same as it was 38 years ago, for sure. I mean,
definitely not.
Oh dear. Just amazing. 38 years. Absolutely fun. By the way, guys, have you got more congrats? Hold on, you're on mute. You're on mute. No, you're still on mute. You're still on mute.
Apologies. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, that was the two congrats I had for this week.
Okay. So a couple of other things that we have to talk about. Well, there's two or three actually. What's the thoughts of the ban, schools banning mobile phones? What's the consensus there? What do people think about that? Schools ban on mobile phone. I think
it's going to cause issues because some parents depend on the mobile phones to keep in contact with their children, to track their children. Yeah, there's tracking apps. Parents have them in their phone so they can see where their children are, especially like latchkey children. You know what the term means, yeah? But when they come home from school, mum ain't going to be on for another 7 hours because she's out at work. So they come in and they let themselves in. So parents to check that you're at home, and child will tell them the mobile phone, I'm at home, when they're in the park. But when you put an app in your phone, you can see if they're in the house. Yeah, that's the house phone, isn't it? You have to be in to answer that one, innit?
There you go. So I know if you're home, if the house phone don't answer, you're not home. Where were you?
No, so them up. No, they can chat up and say, "Oh, you're next door. Why are you not in the house where I told you to be?"
But that's my point.
But I do see it causing issues.
I say again?
I do see it causing issues, both good and bad. Okay,
so issues. Now, both good and bad. Okay. Leisha, your hand is up. Part of the team.
But we're talking about having kids not having mobile phones whilst they're in school. Because the thing about mobile phones now is that kids and adults are getting very, very addictive to so many apps, all these games and this Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, all these different things that kids are being absorbed into, which is making them not focus on work in the school. So I reckon that when they're at school, they should not have their mobile phones with them. Parents will know that their child is in school if they are in school. And their mobile phone is there because it would track them to the school. But there's no need for them to have it while they're at their desks. I know we talk about when we were younger, we didn't have mobile phones. I mean, but times are a little bit different, I understand, in that when they're going home, there's an added edge of danger for kids nowadays. I think as kids we were a bit more street savvy, or a bit more, we were able to navigate because we didn't have technology to track us like
Hold on a minute. We were able to navigate. We had no choice.
Oh yeah, we had no choice.
So these children, they're being crippled by being given a mobile phone. They're not learning to navigate. They're not learning to navigate because they've got a damn phone in their hand. And I see the kids walking home from school, they're on the phone. They don't know what's going on around. They're just talking in the phone. Or you see them at the bus stop, they don't know what's going on around them. They're in some app or whatever they're playing on their phone or whatever. Don't know what's going on around them. So they're not aware.
That is the reason
were aware.
But that's the reason why they shouldn't have mobile phones whilst they're in class or at school, because they're not focusing. Kids are not focusing at school. And also it's making them a lot more argumentative, I'll put it. I wouldn't say aggressive or anything like that.
They got a short fuse.
Short fuse is the best term to use. You take a phone off a kid and they're ready to get quite upset and angry about it in a particular way. It's affecting the way how teachers can teach other kids, or just generally teach in school. So attention span, as Supreme Spin Doctor said, the attention span is very, very short. So it needs to be banned from school.
We could have a whole conversation on this, because in effect, what you just said about when their phone's taken away from them, the effect it has. We've seen the videos of where the youth, even at home, broke up the house. So there's an argument for the phone use, even at home. Because them youth, it's a device. They're not equipped mentally to manage. They're not equipped mentally to manage the device, be it at school or at home. I mean, the conversation can go on and on and on. I can see iPhone has got their hand up. Government launches crackdown on mobile phones in school. The conversation can continue to what's going on at home. But iPhone, talk the things.
Yeah, iPhone is me, it's Dion. Yeah, I agree with Leisha. They shouldn't be able to have their phones. I think they should be the teacher collect their phones at the beginning of the class. They can get their phones at the end of each class. But I don't think they should be able to have their phones on them in class. It's too distracting. There's so much things now that's available to them. It's overwhelming. I think it's overstimulating them, and it's overwhelming. It's just too much. Your phone's pinging off, or it's vibrating in your pocket, on your lap, or they've got TikTok. They've got so many things that's distracting them. I just don't know how they're learning with all this technology.
By the way, they're cheating as well with the chat G. We can't remember, chat GBT, whatever. They can cheat with that.
Chat GPT, yeah.
GPT. Yeah, they can cheat with that. So even the exams, who's talking? There was a conversation about the exams where you used to do coursework. They can't do that no more because, of course, it's not the kids doing it. They put in the computer answers, and they write it down in the thing. Jemmy, your hands up. Top things.
So we have to be aware that nothing in life stands still. And a lot of these children are exactly that. They are the mobile generation. We, the parents and the elders, have allowed them to be the mobile generation by giving them devices, because at first, a lot of us believed that they were learning devices, like iPads, not necessarily a mobile phone, but tablets. But it's evolution. Yeah, that's why there's such an effect when you take away a young person's mobile phone nowadays, because it's like taking away a limb.
It's addiction. Remember, there's a documentary on Netflix about that. So like you're saying, it's a limb. That's not by chance. That's by design.
Yes.
And the creators behind TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all these apps.
The evolution of.
Yeah, they actually pay people, professional, qualified, extremely educated people and skilled people. They pay them huge sums of money to keep people on their phone. Kids can't handle it. because they're up against men and women with degrees and a whole string of, and that are determined to keep you on the phone because that their budget depends on it. And of course, this little kid is not aware of that. He just thinks it's a phone and, oh, look, the phone game. I'll respond to that message. Unaware of what's really going on behind the scenes. So, of course, parents have to take charge. But it's interesting to hear the government has now stepped in. If the government has stepped in, that means it's really gone up another level. Alicia, your hand is up. Start the things.
I remember quite a long time ago when I used to do market research, and they used to get paid for it, actually. And one of the market research that I did was on mobile phones. They had the apps. I think it might have been for, at the time, Apple. I think it was, and they were bringing in apps and asking people, how do you feel about using a mobile phone where you can do video calls with people, you can talk to people, you can use it as a computer. How would you feel about that? And it answers all those questions. Really, really interesting, because those market insights actually gave you an insight as to what plans they had ahead. And guys, if you want to do market research on that you can take a look online to actually get paid for things like that. But the thing is that what's happened is a lot of parents have been using mobile phones and tablets to almost use them as pacifiers. So they get really upset. They give them, or they want to keep them quiet or keep them out of the way, give them a mobile phone to play with, give them the television to watch, give them the,
back in the day, it was a television, but with a mobile phone travels with you.
I know, back in the day, it was go to your room, like go and play with your dolls, go and play with your whatever board game, go and read a book.
Yeah.
Go and play
crazy.
Go and play outside.
Interesting what you said, the focus groups, because if they're planning to do something, they get a focus group and see what people are thinking, and they use the focus group to sort of guide them in how to make whatever the product is more acceptable, because they're bringing out the product, how to make it more acceptable so that people are going to use it. That's what the focus group's about. So a focus group, it just helps whoever's bringing out whatever product, it helps them get their product to market. Interestingly here, where is it? Denise, but having mobile phones in school is not good. All phones should be confiscated when they get to school. Valid point, Denise. Supreme Doctor, there is attention span. Kids they ain't got no attention span. They ain't got no attention. They ain't got no attention span. They can't attend to nothing. Teachers should make them put their phones in the box till the end of the lesson. But I think what Denise was saying, end of school day, and you're in school to learn, says Denise, not on the mobile. And the mobile can provide you, like, for example, a calculator. But when you're doing the sum on the calculator, you get the drop-down message, somebody just texts you. Now you're what? Distracted. As somebody just said, the attention span's just gone. So really, have a proper calculator. You don't need the phone. Supreme Doctor may cause them to rob each other. That could be interesting because, of course, if you're an idiot boy, you got a good phone, the bully could come and give me that phone. I mean, these things happen. I remember when I was a kid, coming home, we had a football match. After football, so I'd walk home with my friends, because back then, parents didn't show up at football matches. It was you and whoever, the team. So we would walk home together, 3 of us walking home. And what we noticed, this is being aware, right? Some man was following us. And as kids, you become aware real quick. So we're walking slow, the man's walking slow. We ran off for a distance, so he's a fair distance behind. Next thing, the man's coming up close. We're like, what the hell? Now, as we talk about using the phone and awareness, if kids are on their phone, you see them coming on for school on their phone. If they're coming on, they're tapping in they're not aware of what's going on around them to see, say, if somebody trying to follow them, could kidnap them, right? So the phoners, and remember back in the day as well, when we had somebody's phone number, back in the day, you knew the number, didn't you? from they give you their mobile phone. Because, you know, you could call Keith's name and I'll just know his number. Yeah, it's 0207, 0208, la, 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 96, right? From they give you that mobile phone, you don't even know. I can't tell you anybody here. I can't tell you. I got all of your number. I can't tell you any one of your number because I have to go where to the phone. So it's a handicap in certain respects. And I think that's what they're coming around to understand now, that the phone, it has its advantages. It has its benefits. Yes, it does. But it's also a bit of a handicap because it's taking away all your information and it's putting it into that device. And now that information, which would normally be in your head, it gone. And then I lose your phone and see what happens. Jerry, your hand is up to other things.
I have to support the kids now, and you don't travel on the tube very often, so you won't know. Go on the tube. It's not the children alone. Adults are the same. How much time people almost walk into me on the network because they're in their phone. And I mean, grown-ass folk who's got a decent, who's supposed to be able to manage stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. On the tube is silent a lot of the time. The only thing you hear on the tube, people talking to other people on the phone, or they're in some app. Everybody's on an app in the phone. So it's not just the children. I think the phone takes away attention span from all of us.
It does. And, you know, we've spoke about this before. Sorry.
Because if I'm walking, what I would do, if I know I'm going somewhere and I've got a text message to respond to, I won't try and walk and send a text. I'll just stop, send a text and carry on. Because I notice I end up spending more time because I'd start dawdling. I forget what I'm doing. Still trying to send a text over. I'm trying to go where I'm going and still trying to send a text. But if I stop, send a text and get on where I'm going, boom, I get there.
Yeah.
Because all this, it's time. It's all time.
Everybody cusses me because I just don't respond. I'll wait till I finish what I'm doing. There'll be a time that I'm going to respond. Do you know what I mean? Of an evening, there'll be a time where I stop and then respond. And sometimes you might wait a day or two. Listen, the phone, it's not. It can be too much. It can be too, you have to put that thing down, man, just to get your senses right. Because you know, you're responding to too many different things. And then you can always forget what you responded to. Next thing you meant, put the bad boy down. And when you got time to take it all in, then pay attention. And so,
do you turn your phone off, Joe?
I think I should have put in airplane mode. No, I don't turn it off. So it no sound. My phone, as you know, it doesn't ring. It doesn't have any notifications. It has to wait for me to give it attention. It does not disturb me. So if it's ringing now, I wouldn't know. It does not disturb me from what I'm doing. And then when I'm ready, I look at the phone. Somebody here said, what's it? Oh, look, Shugs, too much phone, had to teach my son how to change a plug. Never mind how to fix a hole in my washing water pipe. Wow. So there you are, teaching your son how to change a plagiarism, says Spin Doctor. That's what they want, mobile phone with contract. What's that about? Missing that one, Denise. That's what they want, mobile phone with contract.
Oh, shit, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Spin Doctor says they get addicted, which is true. Now, it's true, Leisha, some people do run their business from a mobile phone. I would suggest that such people are more responsible with the use of their phone because they're managing a business. Remember, back in the day, when before the phones became a computer, which it is, it was spoken of when you have a computer like in the house, don't have kids in the room alone with the computer, have the computer in an open space, right? In a shared space so that people aren't going to be doing foolishness. When you give kids a phone, which is a computer, the foolishness that you was trying to avoid them doing on the actual desktop computer, you wouldn't put in their room, for example. Now you give them a phone, you're giving them license to do their foolishness wherever they go.
No, but you can put parental controls on the phone, Joe. You can do that.
To be fair, a lot of people don't do it. A lot of people don't.
No, that's true. That's true.
A lot of people don't know how to do it. So it's there, but a lot of people, you know, even like Facebook, good Lord, that's got parental control. Do you know how to do it? Facebook is such a con in that it gives you everything and then you have to figure out how to take it away. What it should do is give you 5 things and then allow you to add what more you want. And that that's mind games right there. That right there is mind games. And it enables them to rob you before you're aware of it. And after you figure out that they're robbing you, but they've already got your information. Denise, your hand is up. Your hand is up. Start the things. Start the things.
Good evening, Joe. Good evening, everyone. What I'm saying, Joe, is for like these youths, they don't want a PlayStation. They want a mobile phone with a contract. That's what they want.
Okay. That's right.
And, you know, and for Christmas, for their birthday, for instance, they don't want a pay-as-you-go. They're gonna want a phone and they're gonna want a contract. But then that's not good, because then you're setting up people, you know, you're there with your phone out.
Yeah.
Someone robbed you with your phone and you just got that phone. Then what? That's like 5, 6, however much the phone costs.
Yep. And it happens.
Yeah, but then more for you. Why are you gonna get your child a phone on contract? That phone could cost £600-700. The child's got the phone, going to school with it, going out where far. Maybe that child ain't got like a new phone. So obviously when that child's got a phone and flashing it and look, I got a phone, of course he's gonna get robbed.
Valid point, valid. The youth them can get robbed in school. Yeah, absolutely. And they desire the phone because obviously it's a desirable device. But yeah, it has risks. Supreme Spin Doctor, robbing your memory. Yeah, because your memory, you put everything in the phone, pictures. You know what? Who prints their pictures? Now, by the way, you need to print your pictures. But back in the day, you used to have your camera. You'd go with the film to the chemist, and you would have to pay extra if you wanted that footage printed in an hour so you could see the pictures. Or you would go back the next day or a couple days to get the developed pictures. You had to wait. I would argue that taught you something called patience. Patience. The youth don't have they want it now. They want it now. They want it. But nonetheless, how many pictures are in the phone? You don't print them. They lock up in the phone. And then you realize you got too many pictures in there. So now you want to get your pictures. It takes so long, you can't be bothered.
Yeah. Absolutely
right?
true. Absolutely true.
So, the phone has been around for a long time. Shugs, people don't talk no more. Everybody need glasses because they're living on their phones.
Yeah, I know.
Good one, Shugs.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, look, Denise, yeah. I see parents walking on the mobile. They pay more attention to the phone than they are to everything else around them. Nearly licked down a man today, to be fair. Guy's on his phone. And the car, to be fair as well, the speed limit is so slow, 20 miles an hour. People don't respect you when you're driving. They'll just walk out in front of you. Because sometimes that 20 mile, it don't really look like you're moving. So if they're on their phone, they might look off their peripherals. But because you're going so slow, you don't look. So they just walk out in the road. Wow, that was a long one there, Denise. Good Lord. Yeah. So look, there you are. Look, so there's so much going on. So Professor Andrews, as we're talking to things, Professor Andrews. Keith, remind me about this professor, because
this Professor Andrews, he was on, I don't know if much of you know about this new television news, GB News.
Oh, GB, yes.
Morgan and all them man there. I don't even watch it. But he was on there suggesting about coconut and house ... and which he thinks that he questions house and
the N-bomb.
Yeah,
is this professor, is he from Bristol?
Well, this
Professor
is it.
Morgan.
Yeah, I think he was a North gentleman, but he was questioning the House of Ends and Eamon Holmes is on there, yeah. And I just think that the way he was portraying things and the way he's saying it, and you can't even use those words, but you know, he's Birmingham University. It's confirmed by one of
Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham University professor.
Yeah, do you know what? The in this country, I'm not sure. No, it's not. That's Jessica Moore. This is the wrong one. Let me just show you what I found.
Okay.
Because
See if it's still.
It's not.
I'll see if it's still listed. No,
I find the N word hurtful, but Piers Morgan is right. It's Kanye's fault. Those white sorority sisters sang it.
What they?
That's a different story, isn't it? Yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah, I'll try.
That's recent though. That was just a couple of days ago. 20 seconds. Oh no, that's old, terribly old story. That can't be. I can't find your Professor Morgan.
Okay, I'll try and.
I know I saw it.
Yeah.
And he was saying that the use of the term house Negro or something.
Professor Andrews, not more Andrews.
Wrong name, see?
Okay.
Yeah. So he was saying something about the use of the N word.
Yeah.
And defending it, so to speak.
Yes, or saying there's nothing wrong with it, or what's the problem, you know?
Yeah.
Let me just see if I can get it for you.
So Professor Andrews, was he the first black president? No, he's not that.
I've reposted it back in the group, Joe.
Oh, it's very kind of you, Spice. And that was in the Independent. So I had the right newspaper. But this guy is quite interesting to know. He's a leading black professor. So he's not just anyone, right? And he is facing a police probe after calling the former GB News host Calvin Robinson a house Negro.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. So the black man calls the black man a house Negro. Now, the term house Negro, for those who are uninitiated, goes back to the times of slavery, where you had the Negroes in the house, tended to be of a fairer skin complexion, and then you had the Negroes out in the field, tended to be of a darker skin. Well, the sun would cause that to happen, wouldn't it? And so he argued for the validity of the terms, including house Negro and coconut.
Yes.
I think this is a discussion, to be fair, that people may have, but it doesn't go public, right? It doesn't go in the public arena to the extent that the police, like, you're not going to be talking about on the radio, TV. It's not going to go to the extent that the police are going to be called in, you know. But again, you know, it's clickbait, isn't it? The fact is that this issue just shows how little respect there is for black political thought.
He's well known on the TV anyway, because he's always on Good Morning Britain and all them. He's well known. He's very smart man. He's very, very smart, and he doesn't mix his words. He tells it as it is, but in a diplomatic way, in a professional way. He'll argue the case.
He will, yeah. So he's saying that these expressions are vital expressions of black political thought that should be celebrated and not policed. What a contrast. In America, they buried the N-word. It is so ingrained in the culture that one day they said, enough's enough. We have to bury, and they had a funeral for the N-word.
Really? Like they buried it, never to be spoken again.
Yeah, but it's so ingrained in the culture. Of course, people do still use it, but in the open arenas, should we say, it's used far less, because typically when it's used, it's not used in a positive way. It's derogatory.
Yes, very true. Yeah.
You know, and so the argument is that, well, it's the brainwashing, isn't it? The argument is that, you know, black people over there have been so brainwashed, having come through hundreds of years of slavery, that even though they've been free from slavery, it's still within them. And still being passed on through the generations where, you know, the parents are passing on these derogatory terms to their children. I mean, I've heard it, even like the parents calling the children a Negro. And they don't say Negro, they say, you know,
say in a way.
So it is sad, but that just shows the extent of how your mind can be programmed.
Yeah, your mindset. Yeah.
And unless you make a deliberate, that's why it was the case where they buried the word, the letter. Because how do you break free of that program, which is so entrenched in the mental programming over hundreds of years that even to this day it's an argument. You know, it's crazy. And of course it brings up such discussion as what we're having now, whereas in this country where we did not have slavery, this professor is bringing up these terms as though they should be celebrated. It's nothing to do with us.
That's right.
It's nothing to do with us. We weren't slaves.
No.
You know, we grandma wasn't a slave. Granddad and great-grand. In this country, we didn't have that. Whereas in America, granddad was a slave. Great-grand did come off the slave ship. And it's not that long ago. It's so not that long ago. Great-granddad died, I think it was in the 80s. So it's not that far, you know, granddad died, well, he only died just recently. Ingrained. And so you see, you know, these things from way back when, you know, the century 1800s was not that far. It's not that many generations ago, you know. So I think, what's the consensus on here, by the way, guys? Do we think it should be indoctrinated into our conversations, as he's suggesting, and used for expression, Black political thought, that should be celebrated? Or is it something that, you know what, really, do I need that? Leisha, your hand is up, top thing.
Personally, I don't like using the word at all.
Yeah.
I think that it's being the word engro, I call it engro, just for the audience sake, has been modified by the American culture, and they almost use it like it's just everyday language. It's such a horrible word to use because it wasn't used to describe Black people in a favorable way. And it isn't a word to describe us in a favorable way. So I don't know about this. It should be celebrated. I don't know who would celebrate a word that once upon a time was used when they were degrading,
whipping people,
raping, etc. people. They never said that love that young man or that young lady. They used the engro word. So it isn't a word that needs to be celebrated. No.
Yeah. So, Professor, a leading black, this guy's in school, you know. You send your kids to school to learn. This guy is teaching them. This guy is part of the education that the children are receiving. Look, it certainly has its place for understanding history, but going forward, you don't want to celebrate that term. It was used when they were whooping you so hard that you had, what do you call, the welts on your back. It was used when women were raped, and, you know, it was used when they used to burn. It's not to be celebrated. It's a case of knowing your history so you can understand your future. But we're not going to celebrate that type of terminology. Mr. What's his name?
Andrews, Professor Andrews.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not to be celebrated. So it seems like the young man needs an education in himself. You know, he needs an education he needs to. But by the way, as we continue on, not just to give a mention of the fact we're on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Shamps and Giggles, all you need to type in, and all of them things there will come up. I was looking for the song, the Tito song, but it don't look, nobody could find it. Denise says she can't stand the word, but in America, in songs, when they talk to each other, they're calling it. No, but you see, that's the thing, that's the complaint that's been had, Denise. I'm glad you brought that up. In America, people, those rappers are being denounced for using that terminology in their song because it's not uplifting the Black race. And no other race talks in such a derogatory way to their, or regarding their women, children, and so on and so on and so forth. So I'm glad you mentioned that. By the way, for those listening to the radio, we have come to the end of another phenomenal week. Just a terrific show. Please join us. Please check us out on our various channels. Just Google search Shamps and Giggles. You'll find us. Shampsandgiggles.co.uk is the website. Pay a visit, sign in the box, and we can always give you updates for the future. But the conversation continues in-house for the radio. We're going to say goodbye.